Hi, welcome to Melbourne. And also welcome to one of my favourite railway stations in Australia. That's the beautiful Southern Cross station here on Spencer Street in Melbourne. Now my destination today is up to Sydney. Now it's one of those transport challenges again, man versus public transport. And the way I'm going to get there, the first part of the trip is going to be from Southern Cross here up to Albury. And I'm doing that on a V-line train. It leaves here 7 minutes past 7 this morning. And that's going to take me through to Albury. It's going to cost me $2.80. Now when I get to Albury, I've got a couple of hours to have a look around Albury, maybe grab a bit of lunch. Then I've booked on a New South Wales TrainLink train. And that's cost me $2.50 because I purchased a country pension excursion, and that's going to take me from Albury through to Goulburn. And then at Goulburn I'm going to get off, I'll grab a bit of dinner at Goulburn, and I'm going to wait for a train, an Opal service train, and I'm going to use my Gold Opal Card to take me from Goulburn through to Sydney for $2.50. That's $7.80 from Melbourne to Sydney. Okay, it's just past 6 o'clock here, so I've just got about, still got about 37 minutes to go before the train leaves, so I might grab a coffee. There's the train I want, platform 1 in 32 minutes. It's 7:07 to Albury. Platform 2A, platform 3's just there. Now where's platform 1? He's someone I can ask. There's a list there, but Albury isn't mentioned. Yeah. Okay then, so just walk up along here.
Alongside 2. Yeah,
okay, great, thanks very much, mate. Okay. It's just up along here, the platform. Quick stop. Grab and go. $2.
Thank you, sir.
Now the coffee was cheap, it was only $2, but the problem is there's nowhere to drink it. So it's really only worth $2. Yes. That's what we're looking for, platform 1, it's up here. Let's see. This is it. This is the train we want. Well, this is the train we want. It's quite interesting. Of course, this is a standard gauge train going up to Albury, and all these other trains over here are broad gauge trains, local trains. Well, from the look of the train, there's not too many seats left. By the way, my name's Kerry, and today's date is the 19th of June 2026. Now I'm in carriage B, seat 13. That's it, seat 13. USB charging ports. Well, that looks good, this looks good. And it looks a nice comfortable seat too.
Yeah, she's a good friend. I couldn't really tell how you were doing. And I did impress you with the relationship with us. I don't remember what I said.
Now this train is full of people. There's quite a few people standing, and it appears that you can buy a ticket on a regional train here in Victoria, like the train I'm on, which is Southern Cross to Albury. You can buy a ticket without having to reserve a seat. Now I know you can't do that in New South Wales, but in Victoria you can. There's a lot of people sitting on the floor, and there's one guy up there who's even planted himself in the luggage rack. A few months ago, due to the oil shortage, they made public transport in Victoria all free. And I read in the newspaper that since you didn't have to reserve a seat on the train, once they announced that it was free, it appears that a lot of people decide, free trains, we'll have to go for a ride on one. And lots of people went for a ride on trains, and all these regional trains were absolutely jam-packed with people. But now the fares have come back, and you pay half fare in Victoria everywhere. But half fare is still very reasonable. So that's why that's why this train is full. Now the train is comfortable, of course, if you've got a seat. Now I'm in a 4-seat situation with a table in the middle, and I'm sort of jammed in the corner, but still I've got a seat, so I can't complain. There's people sitting behind me on the floor. Now there's a buffet on the train, and it opened half an hour after leaving Melbourne. But then it was open for half an hour, then it closed. Now I've got my phone on charge using the USB port, but I can't log on to the free Wi-Fi. Now here's the buffet menu on the train. The prices are very reasonable. But it's closed. Well, welcome to Albury, and also welcome to New South Wales. Selfie time. The train arrived a few minutes late, but that's alright because we've got plenty of time before the next leg of our journey, and that's aboard the XPT, which is going to arrive here in an hour or more. It's going to take us up to Goulburn. Let's go down to the waiting room. Albury Station. It's a beautiful old station here. And here's our train. "48 minutes. Anyway, well, coming up from Melbourne, I thought our train arrived on time, but I think it might have been a little bit more than 10 minutes late. Because I thought I had a bit more time here I was going to go downtown. But 48 minutes is getting a little bit. Yeah, this certainly is a beautiful station. When I come here, I always think of my grandparents. They were married in 1928, and for their honeymoon, they come from Sydney, they lived at Auburn, and they came down to Melbourne. Now, to go from Sydney to Melbourne in those days, in 1928, now, that was a big trip. Like, you would have come down here to Albury, changed trains at Albury, for a Victorian train to take you the rest of the way to Melbourne. It would have cost a lot of money. But my grandfather, he drove steam trains. He got a free pass for him and my grandmother. So they were set. Anyway, well, there's the front entrance. This certainly is a beautiful old railway station. And just near it is a little cafe. I've got the feeling for a pie, but I don't think they're going to have them in here. Good, thanks. How are you?
My mother had a out for a fair while. She got a balloon and she wanted to sell it.
Oh yes, great. Thanks very much. Oh, great. Thanks very much. It's good. Finally, breakfast. Time we got 11:33 and it leaves at 11:48. That croissant and coffee was delicious. But it didn't even touch the sides. I was so hungry. Okay, back over to the station. We've got about 12 minutes before the train leaves now. Assuming it's running on time.
To know what to do in the unlikely event.
Here's our XPT now. DE. The train arrived on time. It looks like we're going to depart on time. Now, the ticket I purchased for this trip from Albury to Goulburn was a country pension and excursion ticket, and it cost me $2.50. Now, to purchase this ticket, you'll need your seniors card, and you'll need to purchase it 7 days or less before your date of travel. It's only going to cost you $2.50. Well, goodbye Albury.
We have sweet and sour chicken with a jasmine rice. We have a Moroccan vegetable and chickpea tagine with rice. These 3 meals retail for $13.50. And we also have a spaghetti bolognese for $9.90. These meals are served with a warm bread roll. Please note that this bread roll is not gluten-free. Once again, that's butter chicken, sweet and sour chicken, Moroccan vegetable and chickpea tagine, and a beef spaghetti bolognese. please have your selection ready for the staff member as they pass through the train. The buffet is located in Car C at the centre of the train and is now open for light refreshment service. Thank you.
Yes, that was just an announcement to tell everyone that if you want to get lunch on the train, somebody will come through and take your order. And then once it's ready, they announce, and then you go back up, pay for your lunch and bring it back to your seat. But that is handy to remember, that they take the orders for lunch after the train leaves Albury. And also, you can also get a light beer or a glass of wine on the train. Now it's going to take 5 hours and 25 minutes to get from Albury through to Goulburn. So we get to Goulburn just after 5 o'clock. Now we're coming into a station called The Rock, and we've just been advised over the loudspeaker by the train crew that we will be stopping here for a while as there's been a breakdown. A freight train ahead has run into problems. Oh well, I hope it's not too long. Now my guess, if a freight train is broken down ahead, we're going to be stuck here for a few more. We're going to be stuck here for more than a few minutes. Ah well, we're moving again. Problem solved. Keep your fingers crossed.
Our anticipated arrival at Wagga is 1:35, Junee at 2:05, Cootamundra at around 2:45, Pardon at 3:20, and Yass Junction, hopefully we should be there by 4:10. I will give you further updates as we get closer down the line, but those are the anticipated arrival times for the upcoming stations. Our next stopping station will be Wagga Wagga, where we're anticipated arrival time of 1:35. Thank you, and thank you once again for your patience.
Well, here we are at Wagga, but there seems to be a trouble with the doors not opening. So people can't get off and people can't get on till we solve the problem. No, here we go. No, they're moving.
unfortunately, due to a series of misadventures with our broken down freighter earlier and some speed restrictions, and then unfortunately some trespassers on the rail corridor just coming into Junee. We have been delayed on and on our departure from Junee Station we are running around 30 minutes late. We have an expected arrival time into Cootamundra of around 3:15, into Harden at 3:45, Yass Junction at 3:35. We will not be stopping at Gunning today, so the stop after that will be Goulburn at 5:40, Mossvale at 6:30, Campbelltown at 7:30, with an anticipated arrival time at around 8:15 this evening. Should any of our running times change, I will absolutely update you as we go along. Thank you, and once again, thanks for your patience.
Sounds alright.
我話佢聽我分咗咁好啊咁。
I was just going past the showgrounds. Have we designed the cross country course there? Yeah.
嗰啲羊係咪麻煩自己翻去？
5:40 into Goulburn. And thank you for your attention.
Okay, we've still got a bit of light left out there. It's just on 5 o'clock and we're approaching Goulburn. Now Goulburn's the end of my ticket. I've got the country pension excursion ticket, so I've got to get off at Goulburn. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to get off there, I'm going to head uptown, and there's a cafe up there, or a little restaurant, quite a big restaurant up there, called the Paragon. So I'm going to go up there and have something to eat, and after that I'm coming back to Goulburn Station, and I'm going to catch the 1945 Opal service into Campbelltown. And then at Campbelltown I'll have to change for an electric train which is going to take me into Central. Anyway, I hope you stay with us and have dinner with us at Goulburn. Now there's only one problem with getting off at Goulburn in the middle of winter. It's cold. Anyway, I hope I've got enough warm clothes. But the good thing about Goulburn is that the Paragon Cafe, well, that'll be full of people, so that'll be warm. And also the other good thing is that Goulburn Station is also heated. So I should be pretty safe. And the other thing, of course, is if you get this far and you want to stay a night in Goulburn, there's a couple of hotels across the road from Goulburn Station, and I'll show you where they are when we get there. Well, here we are in Goulburn. Well, welcome to Goulburn. Because you can get mobile reception. Look at that, they've even got a fire. Oh, that's nice. Oh. Well, that'll be nice to come back to after dinner up at the Paragon.
Yeah, no, I organised.
I just checked to make sure that the train's running at 7:47 tonight to take me up to Sydney. Now with the station behind me here, if you look directly across the road, there's a pub here. I stayed here once about 10 years ago. It's pretty good. Those front rooms have been refurbished. Yeah, it's called the Southern Railway Hotel. The accommodation is closed. I just went in there and checked with the people at the bar, and they said the accommodation at the hotel there is closed and it's under renovation. There is another motel a bit further down, and I'll leave that in the description. There's a station across the road. If we go up here to the main street of Goulburn, you shouldn't have too much trouble finding somewhere to eat around here. There's a Chinese restaurant. It's cold, but it's really nice. After that hot summer, oh, it's nice to be a bit cool again. There's the post office, and here we are, the Paragon Cafe. Well, there's a sign up saying, please take a seat and order at the restaurant, or order at the bar. That sounds pretty good. Anyway, cheers. Welcome to Goulburn and welcome to the Paragon Cafe. I was just reading a little bit of information here. The cafe started in 1940 by a Greek family. Ah, delicious. Oh, wow. That's enough for two people. I got it with pepper sauce. The sauce and the chips. Ah, delicious. That was absolutely delicious. Well, that was fantastic. We'll head back down the station now. Okay, here we are back at Goulburn Station, and what I must do before I get on the train to head for Sydney is tap on, because we're in Opal country. Now the train that I'm waiting for left Sydney at about 5 minutes to 4 this afternoon, and it's supposed to arrive here at about 7 o'clock, but it's getting on for 8:30, so it's about an hour late. I don't know what's happened to it, because the train that's coming in now, or due now, is the train that's bound for Canberra. It's a New South Wales TrainLink train bound for Canberra. The train I'm after is an Opal service. But this train left Sydney after the 5 to 4, which I'm waiting on. That left at 5 to 4. It seems like for some reason the train I'm waiting on must have broken down or something, and the Canberra train has passed it. Now I don't really know what's going on. All they're saying is that it's that all the trains are late. Anyway, this is man versus public transport, but at the moment I think public transport is winning because man is losing. Yeah, they keep announcing that the Canberra train will be here in 5 minutes. 5 minutes passes and they announce again the Canberra train will be here in 5 minutes. But nothing's arrived yet.
The train's half an hour late, and you ask why, we'll tell you. Let's do that. It's easy. This is my train. Good luck.
Well, this is the Canberra train that's just arrived. Hopefully that'll leave in a couple of minutes. And in will come the Opal service, turn around, go back to Sydney with me on board. Keep your fingers crossed.
Just repeat, the next train to arrive platform 1 is your New South Wales TrainLink Intercity Opal service to Campbelltown via Mossvale, stopping all stations.
That's the train I'm looking for. Now, when it comes in we get it, but it only takes us as far as Campbelltown, and at Campbelltown I've got to get off and catch another train into the city. I think I'm going to get there pretty late. Now here comes my train now. An hour and 50 minutes late from Sydney. Finally! Well, it looks like they're going right now. Better get aboard. Oh, it's nice and warm in here anyway. Well, it looks like we're going, finally. I think about it, if you're coming up from, if you're a Victorian and you're coming up from Melbourne, don't forget that if you want to use your Gold Opal Card, you need to get one before you do the trip. You need to get it before you leave Melbourne. You've got to apply for it, and I'll give a link in the description where to apply for it. It's not something where you can just come up to Sydney and you can show your senior's card and they'll sell you one over the counter. No, they want a little bit more information from you to make sure that you are a senior and you are eligible. So as I say, I'll put the link in the description. Okay, the train's now approaching Campbelltown, but there is one stop before Campbelltown. That's called Macarthur. At Macarthur, you can just get off the train and walk to the other side of the platform because there's an island platform there, and the city trains leave from the other side of the platform that this train arrives on, so it's much easier to get off at Macarthur. Menangle Park. The next stop is Macarthur. Now there's a train, I just checked the timetable, there's a train leaves Macarthur at 23:08 and it's now 23:02. Hopefully we'll get to Macarthur before he leaves. Now if we miss the 23:08, there's another train at 23:23, so we'll have another quarter of an hour to wait if we miss it. That's not too bad. Now if you do this trip, the best day to do it is a Friday, because on a Friday there's extra trains running on a Friday night, so So if you do get any hold-ups like I've had tonight, you'll still get a train into the city. If you do run into problems through to Macarthur here, the problem is you might have to get a night rider bus into the city. That's not a lot of fun. That's going to take extra time. So if you do this trip, try and do it on a Friday. I'll put the link to the timetable in the description. We're just approaching Macarthur, and that train that's sitting in the platform, that leaves in about 2 minutes. So hopefully you'll wait for us.
I'm sure I think about it.
Well, you're right. Leaves in 1 minute. Welcome to Sydney. Well, Macarthur, Campbelltown, that's the border anyway, the Sydney metropolitan area. So welcome to Sydney.
This train will stop at Campbelltown.
There's the little diesel train we just got off over there. It's just arrived. And of course we're coming in on the other station. So, but getting off at Macarthur makes it a lot easier. Yes, on Friday nights they run extra trains late into the evening. So Friday is a good time to do this trip because you've got the insurance of those extra trains once you get to Macarthur. This train is basically stopping all stations to the city via the airport, the domestic and the international airport. So if you've had enough of trains, you can get off at the domestic airport and fly back to Melbourne if you've come from Melbourne.
This station is Quay.
We just arrived here at Central in Sydney, and the total time was 17 hours and 14 minutes because it's now 21 minutes past 12 o'clock. That's not too bad. If we hadn't have had the delay at Goulburn, we would have done it in 16 hours and a bit more. That's not too bad. Now I'm not getting off at Central, I'm staying on the train and I'm going around the city circle. This train's going around via museums. So there's Museum St James, and then there's Circular Quay, Wynyard, and of course I'm going to get off at Town Hall. I found a room at the Park Regis for $123. Come and have a look. Because for $123 on a Friday night, that's a very good deal. And it's right in the middle of the city. Now I've moved up into the top deck of the train. Hopefully I can give you a bit of a view of Circular Quay or the Harbour and Harbour Bridge as we go through the station. Now there's escalators just down there. Up here to George and Park Street and the Sydney Town Hall and Queen Victoria building. Here's the Queen Victoria building. And it's Town Hall. Now if I'm right, the Park Regis is just down here on Park Street, near Castlereagh Street. Here's Pitt Street. Ah, here it is.
Oh, shiver, sorry.
Level 7. Oh, here we are. That looks all right. Well, there's the bathroom. 123 in the middle of the city. That's not too bad. Well, here's a view of the city. As you can see, that's Hyde Park in the background. Now, when I arrived here last night, I was so tired that I hardly even remember getting into bed. I was so tired. But anyway, the bed was really good. It was very quiet, and I had a perfect 8 hours sleep. Now I'm up and I'm ready to go again. I'm going to head out and start on another video now. So I'll bid you all farewell. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you all next week. Bye now.